Well, I'm back again. My name is Dawn, and I'm coming before you to talk about communication again. Communication is sending and receiving messages. We receive and send messages in several ways. It could be symbolically, verbally, or nonverbal. In symbolic communication, it could include the way we dress. Okay, whether she's wearing a red wedding ring, or a judge's robe, or just something you have on, the mechanic's dirty uniform. All of those give out messages. Whether you have long hair, short hair, doesn't mean that you're liberal. A long man with long hair, what that mean? A woman with short hair. So these give out certain messages. Sometimes it could be received as, sometimes our symbolic communication could be giving out the wrong messages. It don't mean that. It's something that we are perceiving in our own thoughts and actions. But verbal communication is just words, the words we use in everyday life. But to have a communication, we must have relationship in words, and the content is in a relationship. Like effective communication needs a relationship. You need to be related in certain ways, if it's verbally, non-verbally, or symbolically, as what I was speaking of, as your way you look, your dress, the clothes you have on, different things like that. uh, Words have meaning, but we give words meaning. We bring meaning to words, such as if you have a car. Okay, I can say I have a car, but to say I have a car, but when it comes to a meaning, what kind of car? That brings a significance to the car. Is it a Ford? Is it an SUV, a Mercedes? So when you bring in what kind of car you have, that brings a new meaning to the word. It makes it become personal. When we could say we have cars, but I ask you what kind of car you have, then it become alive to you. It makes it seem more relevant to what you are driving. So, and eye contact. How many times have we heard that honest man looks you in the eye? Vocal. Our vocal is like the tone we are using. You know, your tone of voice. Sometimes it could be misleading, because some people just talk loud when they don't really mean that what they're saying in that tone of voice, but that's the way their voice just carries. So we look at communication in the tones, gestures, like I'm moving my hand, gestures, or if I go in a room and I just cross my legs. Well, those kind of things are giving out communication also. So those are communication. So we have the, like I say, interpersonal communication is the change of information. It's two or more people sending and receiving messages. Thoughts, the ideas we think of, is being linked to from one person to another person. When we communicate interpersonally, we do it in three ways. Like I say, symbolically, verbally, and nonverbal. So, uh, so in communication, we expressing our feelings. You're being asserted. Being asserted is positive, healthy behavior. As a human being, you have certain rights. You know, Among these are the right to be judge of your own actions. As long as you take responsibility for them and accept any consequences. So, like I said, when you assert it, you have to take action, take responsibility, and accept the consequences that come with that. Like I was talking about the other day in my other video, where when you're assertive, you're gonna take responsibility, not to infringe on anyone's any other person's rights, because when you infringe on other people's rights, then you are becoming the aggressor. And we want to remain respectful to one another. Always remain respectful. Stay in your boundaries. So communication is very important in our relationships, and expressing yourself verbally. If you express yourself verbally, you might like let someone know if you feeling hurt, or you know, just coming forward honestly with someone in your feelings, emotions. Don't let it be personal. Sometimes when we communicate or someone is communicating with you, don't take it personal and bring your emotions into it. Emotions could lead to you having being misguided, or others being misguided, So if you're a passive person, you need to really confront, if you're passive, sometimes you hold things in too long, and when you hold things in too long, it becomes anger, and that is not good. When you're holding things in too long and it becomes anger, then it becomes a problem. So it's best to say what you mean and mean what you say. That in that concern, you won't have this stuff building up in you to more cause a conflict. And we definitely don't want to cause conflict, and we want to remain respectful. You don't want to be overwhelming to people, or like continually hovering over them. If you ask them something to do something, give them the time to do it, and have them perform their duties without you hovering over them or harassing them. Then that could become a problem, especially if you're on a job and doing a job with someone else. So listening. What about listening? Listening is one of the most important parts of communication. If we go to a restaurant, or like if you're in a drive-through, a line, like, okay, you're going to a drive-through and you're going to tell the person on the loudspeaker what you want. Okay, you're going to say, I want a hamburger, but hold the cheese, lettuce, little mayonnaise, little no mustard, or whatever, pickles, hold the pickles, and give me a Coke. Okay, so when you go there and tell a person your order, and when you get to the window, what did you say? You know, that's very frustrating, because they was not a good listener. So now you have to go through and repeat everything you said again. They was there, but they wasn't really listening to what your order was, or they gave you the totally what you didn't ask for. That could be leading up to what, a conflict. So whenever we're in a service position, or even like somebody, you're taking someone order, we need to be attentive and pay attention, because sometimes people don't feel like repeating all the stuff that they had said to you. So being a good listener is very important. And repeat, sometimes we have to repeat it back to the messenger, so that they'll know that we understood, or give it back to the messenger in our own words, to know that, hey, they understood exactly what I meant, or that the listener understood exactly what I was saying in a communication I was giving them. So those are kind of things that we have to pay attention to. Being a good listener, understanding, and sometimes our nonverbal is very confusing, because sometimes we dress a certain way, or we look a certain way, or we go out in a way that is comfortable for us. We might be giving the wrong message. That might not totally, that's just our comfortable date. So it could be giving a false message. But people look at you on what they have perceptions, perceived in their mind about us. If we have, like, if you're wearing a wedding ring might mean what? I'm married. Or not wearing a wedding ring might mean what? You're not married. But because you're not married one, don't mean that you're not married. But it's perceived that if you're wearing a wedding ring, you're married. So those kind of things, it's a symbol, like it's a symbol of marriage. So those kind of things in communication, it's communicating something. If a man have on like it with a nun with the robe and the whole outfit of being a nun, then you know that, hey, she's part of the Catholic religion or whatever, or he's wearing the priest outfit with the robe and shirt and stuff. So those kind of people, you look at it, hey, oh, they're a Catholic, or they're what so and so. So we look at dressing. A judge with a robe on. He put on his robe. That means what? He's judge. He's on the bench now. He's ready to perform the duties of his job now. So a nurse with a nurse's uniform on, or their uniforms give out what? The kind of work we do in life. So all of that has a mechanic with a dirty uniform or grease on him. He been working on cars. He didn't have to tell you that. When he walk out with his hands greasy and the uniform on, we already assumed that, hey, he been working on cars. So those kind of messages is already given out without even saying a word. That's what I'm saying. Uh, so communication, we have to have. Sometimes we need two people to give two true communications is results when two people should have share the same common meaning. We have two-way conversations going. So we give out one receiving and one giving out the message. So communication is very important, and that's in every way walk of life. And when we communicate with others, we have to what? Respect them. Respect what they're saying and give them time to be a good listener. You sometimes just don't say anything. Just wait till the person finish saying what they're saying. And once they finish saying what they're saying, then you have the opportunity to respond. And your response gonna be in whatever the message you receive from what was said, then you have the right to respond back. But like I said, stay in a respectful manner. Stand your ground. Tell them how you exactly feel about what was said. And then stand your ground on giving back the right information, or letting a person know exactly how you feel about what was said to you. So, communication, the lack of communication, when we are communicating, we are not communicating in a proper way to others. Or like in your home, people cannot assume what you want. You have to sometimes tell them, don't assume that a person knows this and that. Sometimes we forget. So communicate. You want your children to clean up the room? Communicate that to them. This is the way I would like I would like you to do. Even if you have to write it down, put it on the refrigerator, put a note, somewhere in the house where the chores you would like to be done on that particular day. So you have to communicate. Sometimes people just don't assume that a person knows what you want. You have to communicate that particular thing to that person. If it's your birthday and you want a certain thing for your birthday, then you have to communicate that to that person. Sometimes people just assume that this person knows it's my birthday, or it's my anniversary, or I would like this done, or I would like that done. If we don't talk to that person and tell them exactly what we want done, how they supposed to know? You know, people have a lot of things going on with them. They have a lot of things going on with them. So we cannot just assume that people are mind readers. Make it known. Make your feelings known. Emotions. Your emotions, if somebody is talking in general, don't just assume that it's personal to you. Don't assume that the message is personal to you. Don't get your emotions involved in the message. Give the person a chance to explain themselves before you get all emotional about the conversation. And anger is a sometimes we respond in anger, and if you respond in an angry manner, that might bring on conflict. And there is a lot of conflict in this world today, misunderstanding about all sorts of things. People just get things all twisted and wrong in the homes, out the homes. We have to stay loving, stay kind. Uh, don't be a bully in your conversations. You said all what you had to say, but then you don't want to give the other person time to what? Explain themselves or express their feelings. So I feel like this, about what you said. Give them a chance to express their feelings about what have been said and what is to be done. When we have arguments is done in a way to come to agreement with that other person on whatever the event or whatever is going on in your life. If your child, like even if your child has done something wrong, it's best to communicate with your children. Don't assume your children know what you're thinking. Sometimes we have to have that conversation with them to let them know, hey, I expect this of you. You came in late. I want to tell you, if you come in late again, then the door is going to be locked, or you're going to be grounded, or give them the ultimatums of what they have done wrong. Do not be ashamed to let your child know how you feel about them coming in late, or not cleaning up their room, or not following the directions you have given them. You cannot be your child's friend and parent. Stop trying to mix the two. You're going to be a parent, be a parent. Stand on your grounds with them and let them know what you expect of them. You know, you need to, I'm just saying, communicating is a big part of life. And we need to communicate more with our family members in order to what? Make things go right and smooth and everybody be on the same page. And no one gonna be misusing other folk, So it's important. Listen to your children. You have to listen to them. You have to pay attention to their needs. Don't just assume everything is okay. Ask them, how was your day? How is things going in school? What happened? You know, why are you angry today? What is the problem? How can I help? How can I help? It'll be beneficiary to you if you let me know what is going on, and stop being like using words like I say, you must, just say it'll be beneficial to you. Stop using words like should have or could not. I told you yesterday, use words like it'll be beneficial to you if you do this, or just use the words that are more appropriate than a demanding word, and make them feel like they're counted and you appreciate them, and make them feel like you want to talk to them and be bothered with them. It's so many kids in this world is misunderstood because people are not paying enough attention to their needs. You know, our children their needs need to be met, and if the parents would communicate more with their children and their family members, look like the society today is just going south, especially the younger children. So we need to be more attentive to what the kids are needing, and communication is the first step. So I'll talk to more about this tomorrow. So just tune in.